banning the Varia. Very safe ban coming out from Login Station. Pretty standard. She is broken. Would you like to see either Blackfeather or Ringo? No, it's being a Grace. You're going to have to answer that question now.
Yeah, they're focusing on that captain position, trying to lock down maybe a strong captain on their side. I think possibly that Blackfeather or Ringo would be a good pickup now on the side of Login. But maybe they feel that since Powerpuff is focusing on those captains, they need to pick up a strong captain themselves. Churnwalker and Varia, it's like every other day we see that ban. And Arden, all right, so that is going to be a captain pickup.
I feel like it's going to be a Ringo or Blackfeather ban that comes out from Login Station.
Yeah.
It would make a good choice as far as it's a priority ban right now, you know, especially Blackfeather. Super strong, flexible as a hero. But then again, Ringo is also very strong. The only reason, though, they've gone for the the Ringo ban, my humble apologies. Would it be a wise choice, Endless, to go for a Blackfeather ban?
Yeah, on the side of Powerpuff, they could ban away the Blackfeather because, at this point, it's probably not worth banning away another captain since we already have that Arden locked up there. So I really think a Rona, maybe not ban away the Rona here. That way you could maybe get that Rona Grace combo on your side. But a Blackfeather, a Vox, okay. I mean, Vox is still strong, but I feel like the Blackfeather may be harder to deal with.
What is really interesting about this game so far is we've had essentially the 3 meta captains either picked or banned, and then we've had 2 meta lane carries banned, and now the Blackfeather has gone over to Login Station. What do you expect Powerpuff Grillz to follow up with? Do you think they're going to go for maybe a Rona or go for something a bit more kiting like we saw? They've gone for the Rona. And just to point out, before Powerpuff Grillz pick up their last pick, we've seen in the last 2 games, and that Samuel has been picked up and dominated the games. Do you think that'd be a good choice, or maybe go for something like a Sky?
I personally do like the Sky pickup. The mobility it can offer, and the late game on a Sky in the jungle can be, very, very strong. But okay, they go with Akashka, who's going to be that early game aggression. We're going to have to see here if, Login Station will keep that Blackfeather in the lane, maybe flex it down into the jungle and pick someone else up for that lane position. But that Kashka is definitely going to be, having some early game pressure.
It's simply going to come down to the early game from Powerpuff Grillz. One hero I think would be a good choice would actually be Batiste, because Batiste provides a lot of CC, and I called it correctly. Going for the Batiste is just really clever. You pick up something like Dragon's Eye Clockwork and then go for an Echo as early as possible. Wouldn't be a bad idea. It means you would get the double CC on the Fearsome Shade. Based on the 2 drafts, do you think Powerpuff Grillz can kind of get past the CC that comes from Login Station and dominate, maybe snowball with an early game? Or do you think Login Station can kind of be a little bit passive, play it safe, and then when they ramp up, hit their post spikes, they can then jump on Powerpuff Grillz?
Yeah, like you kind of mentioned, the Ordained is going to be focused on either the Kashka or the Rona. They're going to have to pick which one they want to lock up. I think the Rona may be the better target to lock up later on. It will be interesting to see how that Baptiste plays and who they kind of focus. But, we are getting ready to hop on the Halcyon Fold for Game 1 of Powerpuff Grillz versus Login Station. Chat, I hope you're hyped. Let's get hyped for this first game.
Yes, indeed. Put hashtag Powerpuff Grillz or hashtag Login Station on who you want to see dominate this first game. Give your opinions, create discussion as you watch the awesome action we are going to have in front of us.
Yeah, I am so hyped for this game. We're going to see if, this Kasha is going to immediately go for that aggression, try to see if they can win a jungle invade and start winning some of that jungle early. It's going to be key, but, you just don't want to, attempt to invade too much and start, giving kills over and actually losing the advantage in that way.
Yeah, and I think synergy is going to play a big part on the side of Powerpuff Grillz. If they can engage and dive as a 3-man dive, you can really shut down and hurt the progression that the Ringo is going to most notably make as we see the standard rotations coming out from both teams.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to rotate down actually and probably get to the Elder Treant around the same time here. I really think, Powerpuff Girls could take an opportunity. They're just playing pretty timid. They don't want to necessarily start the Elder Treant up. They're going to let Login Station take it first. Actually, we're going to have to see if it's going to go over to, it goes over to, it looks like it goes over to Logging Station. We're actually going to see the engage continue on. There goes Black Feather. It does get the first blood on the side of Powerpuff Girls. The Rona is going to pick it up. Looks like they're going to be able to pick up a second one on Blue here is going to go down. Does pop the healing flask? I don't know. It looks like they're going to back off. I don't think they don't feel oh, the dive. That was a mistake.
That was a mistake, and I think that actually really hurts Powerpuff Grillz early game because they pushed the Black Feather up. The Black Feather would have poured it back on how low. What both the Rona and the Koshka should have done is they actually should have gone for Login Station's jungle because it would have exposed it. You know, with this type of comp, you actually want to live in the enemy jungle. You want to basically just give them no chance of farming up. You want to literally starve the enemy team.
Yeah, just instead of chasing for the kill, how about we just rotate into the jungle, start focusing on, making them a little more uncomfortable and taking away camps. We already see Dark rotated back to the Elder Treant here. We're going to see if PS, as I'm going to refer to the Koshka most of this game, trying to get it steal away, and it looks like Koshka is going to be able to do that. Actually, the pressure will be coming on Dark now. Dark's just going to try to continue to steal up.
I don't get why PS backed off. You had the Batiste. He got the Elder Treant in the mid Treant. He would have been able to dive on that, but he comes in now.
Yeah, he rotates back up to the lane. He's going to do a lot of damage. Rona jumps in, huge amount of damage. It looks like Habs is rotating out. Actually, we're going to see the Rona fall, though. We see the huge amount of damage coming from Blue, and the aggression is being turned back. Login Station turns it around. They're going to head and get up those, few kills, and they're going to push lane here. It looks like Dark could be doing what PS should be doing and pushing into the jungle here.
We got to give full credit to Dark and the whole of Login Station because they've really held their own in this early stages. But that's where I think it comes down to the lack of synergistic rotations and the lack of really, really, really early aggression that hasn't come out from Powerpuff Grillz, and backing off against the comp that Login Station have is not good for your late game Endless, because they're only going to ramp up better and better as we get into 7, 8, 10, and once the 15-minute Kraken spawn hits, it's just going to be really hard for Powerpuff Grillz to get back into the way it's going, at least.
Yeah, I mean, if you're naturally a timid player, sometimes it can be hard to play on a hero that is supposed to be so aggressive. Maybe you just aren't comfortable putting on the pressure like this Koshka is supposed to be doing. We do see them start to do a little double man rotation here. They aren't going to find anything. They're actually going to rotate out, maybe camp here the bush and try to catch Dark. They are going to find Dark, though. We're going to see actually the engage going in on Dark right now. Dark could be in trouble unless the healing does come out. He does get the Ordain on top of PS, though. Dark is starting to rotate out. PS is going to be able to get the kill. Here comes Habs, though. Habs doesn't have the Vanguard up to get the barrier. Meanwhile, Bluer, he gets the on point to get the barrier. It looks like he's going to stay healthy. The Vanguard does come through. Look at this. Koshka, no jungle camps to take. Okay. Unfortunately.
What Morale and PS should have done after they killed the Batiste was they should have gone into the enemy jungle and taken the Crystal Sentry. You know why? Because it's an objective.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a very important objective because you're then able to invade the next rotation, because the lane was pushed towards Login Station's first turn. So Cypher had as much chance to disengage, but we are seeing a...
Yeah, they are pushing right now on Morale. Morale does have his team, though. His team does show up. The fountain is popped just to keep Morale alive, though. We're going to see Dark drop really low. Healing Flash is popped. Morale, he gets stunned up by the huge Koshka element. He's going to go down. We look like to see Habs is going to rotate out. Meanwhile, Bluer is pushing up the lane. We're going to see the rotation out of Powerpuff Grillz. So, Bluer is going to back off. And actually, that was a great team rotation by Powerpuff Grillz.
It was great team rotation by Powerpuff Grillz, and PS taking advantage of the Koshka power spike with not only the aftershock, but the yummy catnip frenzy Endless. There's no reflex block that's out on Dark now. So that is literally a free stun and essentially a free kill with the right engagement. And again, though, it was a kill, but did that really gain an advantage in overall map control or map dominance? No. So now we're seeing this, hopefully.
Yeah, we are going to see that. The Ordained does catch the Koshka out, though. Unfortunately, Dark is picking the right target when it comes to those Ordains. I think Koshka right now could grab those fronts, but I think they may see a more important rotation on their turret. We're seeing a lot of damage right now. Bluer, he is not caring about anything. They are focusing on the turret. It's going to fall. We're going to see the first turret drop 6 minutes. That's actually going to be a huge, momentum for the side of, Logic Station. Going to get that map rotated up. Here comes Kasha, though. The rotation does come through. Habs, he's dropping really low. He does pop Fountain, though, and it looks like the healing flash just to keep him alive. The rotation from Dark comes up just to maybe try to push Powerpuff Grillz off. We're going to see them start to fall back. Looks like Logic Station takes a turret and everyone survives. I don't know if they're going to continue the aggression here. It looks like they're just going to continue to walk into the jungle. Who knows if we're going to have another engage or not. Morale kind of just sticking around. Hopefully we'll see the teams back off here.
Yeah, hopefully we will see the teams back off, because Logan Station, they got the first turret. Now just, port back or look to just rotate. What the Blackfeather and the Batiste should do is that they should actually, Blue and Dark, they should actually go into the jungle together, get the experience, get the gold, because the lane isn't pushed. There's no pressure. Yeah, okay, you're farming up there, but you're only giving the enemy team more chance to farm up. Freeze the lane a little bit, starve the enemy team a little bit while you're in jungle getting the ambient gold and the experience. So it's those kind of little rotations can help give your team a little bit better dominance endless. And that's what I feel Logan Station need to do, because they're turning it around in their favor overall so far in under 8 minutes gone.
Yeah, we have 6 reflexes currently on the fold. Everyone has their chance to block out and keep themselves safe from any type of CC. So that's going to be huge in this next team fight. We could see the team fight starting right now. We do see teams rotating in. They are going to meet in the tree or the tri-bush right now. PS is going low already. The Fearsome Shade does come through. Huge gauntlet. It doesn't really land though and focus anyone out. We're going to see the engage focus on top of Blue. He's using his Rose Offensive to get out of there. A huge holding over. The stun is blocked. That is going to be huge. He's going to be able to turn around. Dark does fall first though. It looks like we're going to see maybe a little advantage here on the side of the kill on the Koshka. It looks like Powerpuff Grillz do take the advantage though, but that team fight was so back and forth, and it was just really comes down to who made the correct taps at the right time.
Yeah, essentially. But I want to talk just real quick. PS, I believe PS on this Koshka is going for a Dragon's Eye second item. Very clever in my opinion. I talked about how strong Dragon Eye is as an item right now, and these fights I believe are going to stay quite elongated, especially with the heal that's coming out from the Grace. You're going to stay alive, so pick an item that's going to give you stacks. If it's weapon power, make it Breaking Point. If it's CP, make it Dragon's Eye. You're only going to do more damage once you hit those 8, 10, 12 stacks that Dragon's Eye gives you. So really good pickup if that's what he's going to go for.
Yeah, we do have the Breaking Point and Serpent's Mask already on Cypher. So, the Rona is going to be doing a lot more damage. We don't see that on Blue yet. Blue has not quite got that Breaking Point. We do see a little bit of damage going down, though. Dark is poking out with those bad mojos, doing a lot of damage on PS. They're going to decide to rotate out of that. I think they were in a sticky situation, so close to walls. A Fearsome Shade from coming out of Dark would be huge. Cypher actually goes back in. Dark boots out, though, it looks like. Use the boots. Meanwhile, we see Blue pushing the lane, trying to put the pressure. We're actually going to see maybe those minions fall and Rona not to be able to grab all of them.
What I feel is that Powerpuff Grillz don't really know what I feel is that they don't really know what to do right now in the game. It feels like the Grace is just kind of following the rest of their team, and that they're kind of, sometimes being together. There's no structure in their rotations, and if you don't have structure in your rotations as a team, you have more chance of becoming exposed, whether it's one hero on their own or whether it's 2 heroes together. So I think that's something Powerpuff Grillz need to work on.
Yeah, here comes the engage, though. We do see everyone here. The Holy Nova is blocked up, though, from the Crucible. We see the huge gauntlet. It does come down. 2 stun. Giant gauntlet there. We're going to see Dark. He's continuing getting those bad mojos up. Ordain does go down. PS is dropping really low. We're going to see the spin to win coming out of the Rona, getting a lot of damage. We see 20 breaking point stacks right now. Huge amount of damage. It does get the kill, though. Rona goes down first. Now we're seeing Blue do the work. It looks like he's going to be able to clean up, and all we have left is Grace. That is a huge team fight, huge win on the side of Logic Station.
What made that team fight for Login Station outside of the absolutely amazing clutch gauntlet that came out from Habs? Also, I want to touch on the Fearsome Shade that was also really well executed by Dark, even though I believe it was blocked. Because the Crucible was used to block the Fearsome Shade, that gauntlet was a free stun, and it was absolutely performed excellently. And what I like is that after taking the ace, they're going for the gold mine. It's an objective. It's gold. It means you're going to build up your items quicker. But like I was going to say, that Dragon's Eye pickup by Dark, he had 12 stacks in that team fight. Even though he died, it was pivotal that the bad mojo was chunking out the Koshka. And this is really good stuff.
Yeah, the rotation does come out, though. They do go ahead and focus on the turret. They could pay for it, though. A huge Fearsome Shade doesn't really do much. Maybe push them out a little bit. We do see a little re-engage coming out of Powerpuff Grillz, though. We do see huge amount of damage. Rona's going to go down immediately. Habs, he's dropping low. It looks like he's going to rotate out. He has Fountain up still. Another bad mojo bursts him down in the face. Just Dark is just stacking up on this Dragon Eye.
Well, and also this is the risk of Rona. Because Rona is countered by Weapon Power Blackfeather. It's known. It's obvious. And sorry, actually, no, my humble apologies. Let me rephrase that and let me start that again. What is interesting is that normally Rona Weapon Power is only countered by CP Blackfeather. However, we are seeing the Weapon Power Blackfeather just doing a lot better job of executing Cypher, and I think that comes down to the overall higher amount of CC and team-wide focus by Login Station. And again, as we do see the teams kind of centering towards a gold mine, that again comes out to see what seems to be more of a structured game from Login Station. Powerpuff Grillz, they're not playing a bad game, but it just feels a little bit more messy overall, and in the team fights, that's going to show.
Yeah, we're going to see maybe a little engage here. We do see Dark, though, is kind of out of position. I think Login Station realizes that. Not going to pull the trigger. We have pretty much all items up from everyone, all actives that need to be up. Dark's boots will be up soon. It looks like teams are going to reset, continue focusing on objectives, and wait for the next team fight. We are almost at the 15-minute mark, though. We will be there in 1 minute. So that's when team fights will become huge. We see Bluer, though, actually is Rosa fencing in, trying to get damage. The Holy Nova is blocked up. Huge gauntlet does drop down. It does stun up the Koshka. The heal comes through to keep him alive. The Fearsome Shade does come through. Another fountain is popped. Has popped his fountain. It's not going to matter. Habs just go down, though. Looks like Bluer and Dark, they're going to run out of this. We see the Cypher putting down lots of damage. The ultimate is blocked up. Dark, though, is trying to get some damage down. I don't think it's going to be enough. Dark is going to fall, and Bluer is left the only one alive. Honestly, I did not think that fight was going to go that way. If the Rona just had too many stacks for them to handle.
Well, I think it's not just the fact that the Rona had too many stacks, but Habs was a little bit out of position. It's all well and good being in the front line as an Arden, but if you expose yourself too much, you're going to pay the price. And that's what happened. He went down. It became a 3-on-2, and that was just about secured by the Grace.
Yeah, we saw, we think the Blackfeather went in pretty fast there. Actually, we're seeing an engage once again here over a gold miner that has gone already. Bluer uses another row offensive to get out. Habs, once again, is trying to take out the front line. Fearsome Shade, try to be defensive here, try to keep them away. Dark, he's pushing the aggression. It looks like Morale. I don't know if that Grace is going to be able to stay alive. It looks like the healing is coming out, though. Just being able to, another Ordained, that is huge. That's going to lock up the Grace. Grace falls. And unfortunately, now they're down a member and Kraken pops up, and that could have been a really bad time for that Grace to hang around too long.
It was just the whole of Powerpuff Grillz. They just hung around for too long. As soon as they got the gold mine, they should have just literally have completely backed off, but they got baited. They got baited hard, they got baited fast, and it meant that they...
Turret's going to go down by the minions. Is it going to fall? It looks like it's going to fall. It does fall. The minions get the turret, so that does help Powerpuff Grillz.
NA minions were stacked. NA minions OP.
This is going to give time, though, for this Rona to try and get damage down, and hopefully the team gets here to support, though, because this push, if it is stopped, obviously that is a lot of gold over the side of Powerpuff Grillz, and not necessarily the best Kraken push out of Logic Station. And we see First Some Shade does get blocked up, though. They're going to continue to stay on top of this Kraken. Here comes Bluer, though. This gauge could come out if it is called by if Habs decides to use a Gauntlet. Gauntlet does come in, though. It does stun up the Kashka. That's a good amount of damage, though, coming out of the Black Feather is going to try and stack up to get that damage down. Here comes another Holy Nova. It is blocked. A huge, Gauntlet. Again, we have an echo on the field, though. We're going to see the Rona fall. We're going to see Login Station somehow winning this fight, even with a Kraken that was extremely low. They decided to stick around, got a huge Gauntlet, and was just perfect engage.
The Habs on these gauntlets has been brilliant. He's just executed them perfectly. I don't know if it's part luck or if it's absolutely just the right timing, but it's been pivotal to his team winning these team fights. It could be endless. We're going to see this being closed out, blocked out. Now they're just focusing on this Vein Crystal. As I do believe the Black Feather goes down, but Habs is going to help secure it with the Black Feather, and it is secured by the support of Habs, and that just shows how strong he was in that game. First game going over to Login Station. Really good stuff by them, Endless.
Someone go back and clip me saying that Login Station just had a bad push for the Kraken, because they just pushed and won the game. Endless was majorly wrong.
It's okay, man. It happens, because I didn't think it was going to. No, because it's true, because I didn't think it was going to happen either. The one thing I was looking at and was going to point out was the fact that, yes, it potentially wasn't going to be the best Kraken push, but the fact that you have a Batiste that was building up his breaking point stacks and doing that AoE damage with his bad mojos did play to the advantage of Login Station. However, what it kind of comes down to is, one, the lack of real proper early game aggression from Powerpuff Grillz based on their comp, but also Login Station just seemed more structured as a team. And this game is a team fight game. Yes, single player mechanics is always going to show in a lot of aspects, but if as a team you are not engaging as a three-man team in the right situation, you're only going to get shut down. And that's what we saw from Powerpuff Grillz. They didn't structure their team fights properly, and Login Station exposed it, and they absolutely won out in the end with a fantastic Kraken push.
Yeah, definitely a good game. GG, game one. We will be getting into game two, though. Powerpuff Grillz really close in that game, had a lot of good opportunities to win team fights, and I feel like the game was definitely back and forth, and we'll have to see if game two is going to be just as close.
Oh yeah, of course. I do feel it will be. That's one thing I'll say. Like the draft that came out from Powerpuff Grillz was definitely not a bad draft, even against the Batiste. They still had the potential to absolutely shut them down and win. Excuse me, but it's like I'm always gonna say, and nearly every single person that has a decent form of Vainglory knowledge is, when you pick a comp, you've got to make sure you play that comp to its power spikes. If it's an early game comp, you beat early game aggression. If it's late game comp, you play it safe, you be passive, and then once you hit your 2, 3, 4 damage items, depending on what heroes you're playing, you unleash it onto the enemy team. You don't feed. So, but Powerpuff Grillz definitely have the ability and the draft sense to win a game if they are just a bit tighter as a three-man team. Realize that when they have an advantage, to take it and turn it into map control, into map dominance, and make the enemy team not just physically but psychologically push back, you then have a chance of winning the team, winning the game, and taking it to a third game in the series.
Okay, well, I think we're going to be getting into the draft here and getting into game two.
Yeah, it's straight out Varia banned by Login Station. It's very rare you see a Varia first ban. I believe it's the first time I've seen it. in the NACL. Somebody might correct me because I've casted so many, I kind of slightly forget. However, it wouldn't say it's a bad ban. Powerpuff Grillz follow with the Turn Walker. It means that Login Station is going to be able to pick up that Grace. What do you think Grillz are going to follow up with? Should it be an Arden or should they pick up a Black Feather or maybe even a Ringo?
I mean, I want to be boring and just say Arden, but maybe switch things up here and try to lock. There's the Arden. We're going to stay boring.
They're going to stay boring.
I don't know. I just sometimes, in these matches, I like to see some fun things, but the Black Feathers banned away right away again. So, if they don't want to give that Ringo over, they could ban the Ringo here. It really just depends on what comp they have in mind and what they don't want to play against.
Yeah, exactly. And it's definitely risky. I just feel the outright best choice in terms of as a hero ban would be either the Ringo or the Vox. You can kind of know they've gone for a Taka ban. That makes me think that they're looking or edging towards a Sky last pickup with maybe something like a Rona in the lane. It means you have the dive and then you have the backline damage that can come out from Sky. So it's going to be interesting what Powerpuff Grillz follow up on their second pick. They've gone for a Samuel, really strong. I said that, and like we've seen in the last two previous games, as Ringo comes out, Samuel has been played very strongly by the teams that have played the Samuel so far tonight. So if we see the same, this could definitely go towards the advantage of Grillz.
So then do you still think a Sky pickup on the side of, Login Station would be a good idea here? Or
no, not that they picked Ringo
all.
a second. No, only because they haven't picked Ringo. Because what makes Grace so strong as a support is when you have a dive hero with the Grace. But when you have double range, Grace kind of becomes a slight potato. And I should know I'm Irish and I love potatoes. I know all about them. So, you want to make sure that you have a dive hero. So maybe something like Reza, a Koshka, because Taka is off the table. You're going to be able to pick up a bit of an assassin type hero, or they could go for a Rhyme. Rhyme and Grace we saw earlier with the Ringo was very dangerous. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to go for a Rhyme.
Yeah, the Rhyme. I do like the idea of the Rhyme, but they go with the Baptiste that maybe, I guess, shut down any possibility of a dive hero. But Baptiste into that Samuel, I feel like that's going to be hard to get those Ordained down. We'll have to see who the laner is, I guess, on the side of on Powerpuff here.
Vox would be a very decent choice right now because not only is Vox a strong hero right now, but with the Samuel can create a lot of AoE damage, which will really help shut the Ringo down because you don't want to give. No, they've gone for an Idris. Very interesting. You said you wanted to see interesting. You said you wanted to see something, let's say, off meta. Idris is definitely not in the meta. Not saying he's strong, but he's definitely not in the meta right now compared to other heroes. So I'm going to be really interested to see how Powerpuff Grillz pull this off. What do you think of that pickup?
I mean, it's definitely interesting. I haven't watched this in a while, so I'm just going to see how this Idris is played and if it's going to be as strong as it has in past patches. Obviously, it's not as strong when it comes to what it used to be in the past. But I'm definitely excited to see how this match is going to play out. We're getting into game 2, hopping onto Halcyon Unfold. Let's get hyped in the chat. These drafts are amazing. We're going to have to see how this game 2 is.
Exactly. And like I said in the first game, put your hashtag Login Station or a hashtag Powerpuff Grillz on who you think or who you want to win. I know that you have your picks on what team you want to see winning. It doesn't matter so much to you guys if Login Station have won the first game because it's not over till it's over endless. It's not over till the Vayne is down and it becomes a 2-game win for one of these teams. So it's going to be interesting on how Powerpuff Grillz are going to look to get back into this game.
Yep, we do have a sub this game. We do see PS subbing. We see Retro coming in. So we're having a different jungler in this game. We'll have to see how Retro does play this Samuel.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, we saw Samuel in the earlier games tonight showing a dominant level of performance as we see the two captains in the middle of the map just going out of ham. I love to see that kind of stuff, by the way, when the two captains are just going, yeah, let's fight a little bit.
Exchange some punches back and forth. We're going to see maybe a Logic Station force them out here. We're going to try to get them out of the jungle so they can just secure maybe a kill. It looks like they're going to get so much damage. The burst. Samuel gets dropped immediately. And look what Logic Station's going to do. They're going to do what should have been happening last game, probably with Powerpuff Grillz, and they're just going to walk into the jungle and see what they can find.
Because, you know, Samuel's really strong, and what helped to make the Samuel so strong in the earlier games we saw tonight is that the Samuels were given freedom to farm up. And when, as a Samuel, you're given freedom to farm up, you really hit your power spikes nicely. But when you're shut down, it's very hard for Samuel to get back into the game. So really good stuff by Logic Station, structured as ever. And again, you know, Cypher in this lane is doing a really good job of farming up, but recognize when your rotations should be taken advantage of. Go down to the jungle, go down to the mid-century, help secure the mid-century, and look what we're seeing up in jungle.
Yeah, in the jungle, we already see the scrimmage was happening. We're going to see the Ardent actually does fall. Habs and Dark doing the amount of damage. I honestly thought that, you know, Retro and Morale were going to be able to win that little exchange there, but Dark has that healing. The Holy Novas were ginormous from Habs, and they're actually able to win that exchange and continue on farming. And, you know, like you said, you know, Bluer is just up here in the lane by himself, but we see Habs is finally going to rotate back up and kind of, you know, assist his laner in the jungle or in the lane.
Yeah, good choice. But if Cypher had rotated down instead of porting back, it would have been a different story, and Powerpuff Grillz most likely would have team fight. Great Holy Nova coming out there onto Morale.
Yeah, we see Retro coming up that we're going to see some Malice and Verdicts being thrown out, trying to get some damage on Habs. Dark is here as well. It looks like we're going to see two backs, though. I don't think Dark wants to stay around for too long, just in case we get a three-member dive on top of Dark. But he's going to maybe clear out the minions as they come. But he's dropping so low. Retro just rotates around the rock, picks up the kill. We're going to see the immediate rotation to the backs. They're not there. They could be up soon. I think Retro's just going to, you know, back out in that and try to just find any jungle possible.
Really good by Retro. Great focus, great kind of movement to go kind of around the wall and then get those Malice and Verdicts, and then great synergy with Idris. And this is what we're seeing. Look, Powerpuff Grillz, they rotate as a three-man team. They take the mid-treat, and it means that they're most likely not going to lose turret. They might lose a little bit of farm, but they're not going to lose the turret. So really good stuff coming out from Powerpuff Grillz. It feels like they're just listening a little bit, but you got to give credit to Bluer. Look at that. That turret is down to half health.
Yeah, there definitely was good damage on top of the turret. I think maybe a full rotation. Samuel decided to go get the backs and thought that was more important than rotating up to help. I think the turret would have been a little more healthier. Bluer would have been a little more scared seeing all three members there. But we do see everyone's back in the lane here. We're going to get some poke down on both sides. Dark steps a little too far forward there, actually. I do not think that is the front line he wants to be currently. You know, Retrial is going to be throwing out those Malice and Verdicts, sitting inside of the Drifting Dark, does a good amount of damage. Both of these, you know, junglers right now can have some good amount of bursts if you try to tank too many of those abilities.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that is going to be important for Logic Station to make sure that they're kind of somewhat rotating the frontline damage that's coming out from Powerpuff Grillz, especially with the Samuel that poke that, you know, that's not always going to be Grace. That's going to be a little bit of Grace, a little bit of Batiste, because especially with the CC
we're
that
seeing
Batiste...
engage in the jungle. It looks like we actually see Retrio. It does throw out the ultimate. It does miss barely. Dark is low. He just leaves immediately. We see the Hellfire Brutus come out, though, and Bluer is going to use the boots, I think, and try to chase down Retrio. It does get the kill. Here comes Cypher. This could be a bad situation. Crystal Sentry is here as well. Dark is super low. He tries to rotate back down to help. They do lose the Ringo. Dark is going to try to get out of here. We see is the kill going to come through? Is the gauntlet, or not the gauntlet, excuse me, the Vanguard. There it is. The Vanguard just going to be used to rotate back up the lane. Imperium, go back to your magic. Sorry for the interruption.
No, geez, I humbly apologize for not noticing that engagement sooner. Really good stuff by Powerpuff Grillz to rotate down, but also it was also good for Login Station to rotate down. I feel like it was a bit of a messy engagement by both teams because nothing was really lost or gained. As you see Cypher jumping in.
Yeah, we do see the, engage once again. The, Habs also just returning some damage on the Grace, trying to be that tanky front line. We're going to see two junglers run into each other here. Retrial is going to stay inside that Ordained. Drifting Dark is thrown out. Both are putting out a good amount of damage. It looks like they're going to respect each other and walk away from that.
Yeah, right now it's a little bit of a kind of waiting game. We're just seeing kind of a little bit of pokes of engagement. However, this could be a good potential turret push coming out from Login Station.
Yeah, the Hellfire Brew does come out though. It does get some, decent amount of damage. Weapon power Ringo, of course, not going to do crazy a lot. Retrial's trying to find Bluer. He does, and he's getting a lot of damage taken though. And we see the ultimate does come through from Cypher. Here comes the ultimate from Samuel. It does miss barely. We're going to see maybe a rotation from, we see Dark coming up. Hopefully going to be able to get some damage done. Try to either clean up or help his captain here who is dropping low. Once again, we're going to see Powerpuff Grillz continuing their aggression. The fountain is popped, though, to try to top them back off. Dark is the only one healthy in this situation. We are going to see the Ringo return, though. We could see another staggered engage with a healthy Ringo that's back.
Yeah, it's just a little bit messy right now. There's not as much structure from either team, even compared to the last game. It's just kind of like as if they're just kind of going for the kills rather than going, okay, look, we're not going to secure a kill. Let's just kind of pour back or look to take an objective. However, this first turret does maybe look to come out. Don't go for the Arden, go for the turret. And finally, the Ringo takes down the turret. So that's very half decent for Login Station. Should have been done about 5-7 seconds earlier. However, got the job done in the end, and that's a very good level of kind of map control coming out from Login Station because they have their first turret they can retreat under. However, Powerpuff Grillz are definitely more exposed in this map, and that's going to be a telltale sign potentially to these later team fight engagements.
Yeah, every second matters. You got to get that turret as quick as possible. Other seconds could be spent getting other objectives. So at the end, they still do get the turret down. They have that first major objective. Here comes another Hellfire Brew. Let's go ahead and get Cypher. But the dodge plus the Vanguard is really going to take a minimum amount of damage from the Hellfire Brew. Actually, it was pretty impressive little combo there. But Bluer, you can't take up too many of those Malice and Verdicts. That's going to be huge. Here comes the Gauntlet. It does land, though. Here comes the Divine Intervention to try to keep Bluer healthy. He does get the help, but he's already chunked back down, dropping super low once again. The Idris jumps back on top. Bluer is just trying to stick around as much as possible. Here comes the rotation out of Login Station. The Login Station is going to try to get the damage back down. The reverse rotation out of Retro going to try the Fearsome Shade, though, knocks him into the wall. That was huge. Oblivion does miss just wide. Huge burst damage from the Baptiste does take down the Idris. We're going to see the continual damage on Morale. I think Morale is just sacrificing, going to let Retrial walk away, and we're going to see the 2-1 or the 3-1 advantage on the side of Login Station.
Yeah, now they're turning it into objectives, and that's good. They're going for the gold mine. Gold mine is full. However, Red Trial does shut down Blue Earth, so that has a potential risk of them losing the gold mine. But look at that, going on to Red Trial.
Yeah, he's trying to get the kill here. The Grace is going to dive in, though. Habs is going to try to help him. And again, just the burst damage. A bad mojo to the face.
Yeah, but it's also the Dragon's Eye stacks. Had 8 Dragon's Eye stacks. That's not even the highest amount of stacks possible. There's 12 that he can go up to. He only had 8 and was still doing that amazing damage. So, but with all due respect, that was a half decent sacrifice that came in from Retro because it stopped Login Station from getting the gold mine. That was 1,200 gold wiped away or delayed on the side of Login Station.
We're seeing another engage, though. We see Cypher actually drops really low He tries to use his ultimate to, hide for a little bit, but Bluer unfortunately spotted him out, and the Baptiste picks it up. We're going to see a huge defensive gauntlet. It's not going to be doing too much. We're seeing a huge engage right now out of Lodging Station. The fountain is popped just to try to keep morale alive. That's not going to work. Crystal Sentry is going to fall, and we're going to see Retro out. Shouldn't stick around too much. The poke is important, but we definitely do not want to get an ace here. Idris is back up. We're going to see what kind of objective they focus on here, though. They may go for the gold miner and push at the same time.
Yeah, the Bluer looks just to get these minions, just push wave a little bit. Be careful about Retro, and now they will help. He will come down to help secure the gold mine. I don't think Powerpuff Grillz are going to look to contest it. They'd be City too. No, they don't. They're just going to maybe look to push in. I like that Cypher and Retro are together because the jungle isn't up. So at least the ambient gold and the experience is being shared between the jungler and the carry. So that's not a bad thing, even though they lost gold mine in the process. They took as much advantage as possible of the minions that they had in lane. So decent stuff from Powerpuff Grillz.
So Imperium, this Idris, it's been a while since I've seen it in action. Are you wanting a third, item here, like another weapon power, or are we going to need to be a little more tanky?
I think he definitely needs an Aegis because he's been somewhat shut down. Dark doesn't even have Broken Myth. So if he gets the Aegis, he will be definitely a lot more sustainable in these team fights. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't go Poison Shift Breaking Point instead of Serpent's Mask. I think Poison Shift would have helped negate some of the healing from Batiste's perk.
Yeah, we're going to see the engage come in. Retrial is trying to tie it away along with the Malice and Verdict. Cypher, though, does find a Bluer. Bluer is actually pretty low. The Atlas does get popped on top of the Ringo. The Ringo's tech is slow. Currently, it actually looks like Bluer's going to go down, but we do see a giant Divine Intermission. Keeps him alive. The Oblivion does get blocked. Huge block. Look at this hiding ability right now from Ringo. Everyone just zoom in on that Ringo, doing absolutely work. Dark is trying to take care of the CME on the back. The Ringo play was absolutely beautiful. With the captain's support, it could not have played any better in Logic Station's hand.
It's one of the reasons why Grace is just so disgustingly powerful right now. Divine Intervention healed up the Ringo to essentially full health. And the kiting that was coming out from Bluer, like, it's got to be frustrating when you are Powerpuff Grillz, because credit to Cypher getting onto that Ringo beautifully. I just couldn't shut it down, which is why I actually think Poison Shift would have just been a little bit better than a Serpent's Mask. As an item, Poison Shift is stronger right now, more in the meta, gives you just that little bit more attack speed while still sustaining. And yeah,
we're seeing another gauge. Once again, Logic Station hasn't had enough. They're going to see the aggression push forward. Fusion Shade kind of is missed. We do see a huge stun, though, on top of Retrial. Retrial is actually going to get dropped here. We're going to see, PG-13 just backing out Powerpuff Grillz. They need to maybe turtle, maybe just try to pick the fights they know they can win, because we just see Logic Station, as soon as they spot them out, they are almost engaging immediately.
Yeah, and it's coming up to nearly 8k gold lead for Logan Station. I want to talk about Retro's build right now. Got Dragon's Eye, got Broken Myth. I don't really agree with that. Broken Myth is a solid item, but if you notice, the only person without CP defense is Ringo, and that's who Retro needs to focus. So it would have been a lot better for him to go Clockwork, because it would have given his Malice and Verdicts, Drifting Docks, and the Oblivion a lot better cooldown, as well as supplying still core CP damage. So even though I slightly get the Broken Myth against this comp, and considering the fact that Ringo doesn't have CP defense right now, Clockwork or Eve would have been a lot better choice in items right now.
Yeah, Habs actually steps too far forward, though. Takes a lot of damage. He actually does use his boots, but unfortunately, Cypher decides to dive in just to take a huge amount of oh my gosh, the Fearsome Shade traps him against the wall while the Hellfire Brew comes to get the kill. A defensive gauntlet is thrown down. It's not going to do too much because it's blocked up by the Crucible. They're going to try to chase down this Arden right now. Look at that. The Kraken is up. Arden could have just played right into Logic Station hands, led them right to the Kraken. Now they have a chance to take this Kraken.
Yeah, it's like, you sure this isn't 4 against 2? No, I joke, really. That was just a slight unfortunate timing of events, because the Ard was doing the right thing, trying to basically run away. But you know, when they're kind of running away, the last thing you're kind of looking at is how much time is on in the match. You're just going, no, run, get away from me, don't kill
Yeah.
me. You know, so it was just an unfortunate timing of events that came out for Powerpuff Grillz, and Login Station still dominating this match. They are up to over 8k gold ahead with the Kraken push. And also even Dark and Habs, they're ahead of the Kraken. And that shows how dominant they're being so far in this game.
Yeah, we see Blue. He needs to get up here. The team knows they do have a successful push. I'm definitely not going to say they're going to have a bad push here. We're definitely looking to see if they're going to be able to push like they did last game and possibly take on these two turrets and get a win here. They're going to rotate around the side of the Kraken here, try to get the damage on the turret. We do see Bluer. He does use his boots on top of Retro. He's trying to take Retro down. Retro's going to drop back to the Bluer. Gets the divine intervention. That was huge. The ultimate does miss from the Samuel. Bluer actually may fall here. He just never dies. No matter what they try to do, they cannot take him down. He finally falls. Meanwhile, Dark, though, he's just doing work down here. He's trying to stay healthy, get these Dragon Eye stacks up. He's trying to get the Retro out down as well. This is going to be a little kiting fight back and forth. The Fearsome Shade is blocked out, though. Meanwhile, Kraken is decently healthy, starting to get the attacks down on the Vein Crystal. Are they focusing too much on Dark? Is this GG? It looks like Retro is going to fall as well. And Logic Station, they did it again. It was a chaotic last push, but they end up on top to win game 2.
Yeah, you were definitely right to not dismiss the Kraken that the Login Station there, and fantastic by Dark. So much sustain with his build, and also the perk that Batiste has on his Reap. It's just amazing, and this is what I mean. Like, he had Dragon's Eye Clockwork, so he's able to spam out his abilities so much more. And yes, he, Retral had the Broken Myth, which was helping to shred through the defense from Dark. But if it had been Clockwork, if it had been Eve, it would have helped shut down Bluer just that little bit more, I feel. Bluer had no defense other than Reflex Block. Full-on damage, all flight, no fight. Build of Spell Sword, Double Tyrant's Bone Saw. With the Journey Boots, I might say was a really good pickup, because with the Journey Boots, when you hit an enemy after you activate your boots, the cooldown is only 10 seconds. So that was really helping Bluer survive and disengage that little bit more in the team fight. So really good stuff by Login Station. Again, endless though. Powerpuff Grillz didn't really have a bad game. Mistakes certainly made all around. I just feel, their biggest weakness right now as a team from what we saw is the lack of structure and rotations.
Yeah, for sure. It was a great series, though. Some definitely highs and lows from both sides. But GG's to both Powerpuff Grillz and Login Station.